I'm Jim Crocker. I'm the owner and principal consultant of Discover Value, which is a consultancy focused on process improvement and operational excellence across various industries. I've been in the industry for over 25 years. Most of that was as a corporate gig. So my consultancy is relatively new. But it's interesting, the work is the same. I've been a consultant most of my career. I've just been an in-house consultant for most of it. I started my consulting company in December of 21. I was new, and I have a lot of other friends who are consultants as well, but there was this element of I don't know what I don't know. And so I gathered a bunch of information about how I could be a better consultant. And so one of the things I did was look for podcasts. And I actually ran into Melissa's podcast and listened to a few episodes as, ooh, this is really good stuff. I should just have a chat with her about coaching and what she does and see how that goes. We did our initial interview session, and I really didn't have any concerns after talking to her. It's like, I need another perspective from someone I don't know and someone who's going to be completely objective or provide a different viewpoint than the other voices I have in my life that are helpful. But I just felt like I needed that additional viewpoint, that additional perspective. I felt like I just jumped in the deep end. I need someone that's going to help me learn how to swim pretty quickly. So what I really appreciated about Melisa was she does have a process, but she really started with what's top of mind for you. What do you want to work on? What do you want to focus on? And it's interesting that conversation started what I would say pretty typical, like, how do I improve lead generation? How do I create that pipeline so I have additional clients that are ready to go when this client ends? That type of stuff. But as we dug in and explored more, it really, I think almost all of our coaching sessions were focused on my thinking about my business and about myself. And so much of it was about overcoming self-doubt or changing the way I thought about my expertise in my work. And one of the things that needed to change in my thinking or that was holding me back was this idea of perfectionism. And if I'm not able to make it perfect, then I will procrastinate and not do it. And getting over this idea that we're shooting for a B minus here, not an A plus, because shooting for the A plus is going to prevent you from being successful. And it's not about phoning it in or not giving an effort. It's about leaning in and trying things that maybe I'm not 100% confident in, or that I probably don't view my expertise the same way others view it. It did come around to talking about what I would call the typical consultant stuff, talking about lead generation and finding the high value clients. But so much of it was about how I thought about that work and how my thinking was driving my behavior. Really, that translated into, here are some tools we can use to change your thinking that are going to drive the behaviors you want to be more successful. By far, my biggest takeaway was understanding when the difference between unintentional thinking and how that leads to the results I don't want versus intentional thinking, which leads to the results I do want. I'd walk into a coaching session with Melisa and I'd have a limiting belief, or we'd start the conversation with, here's what I'm facing, this is what I think is the result. And she would start with why do you think that's the result you're going to get? Why do you think that's the way it has to be? And does it have to be that way? And we would explore that. And for me, I'm more comfortable now having that conversation and questioning my fundamental beliefs about the limitations of any given situation. And just starting with, that's interesting. Why does it have to be that way? And if my coaching engagement with Melisa had been, here are the tactics you need to employ, I would have walked away from this engagement probably feeling like I got less value. And while those things might be something you can go implement right away, the long-term benefits are not nearly as high as the challenging the way I show up to work and the way I think about my work, which is going to lead to all kinds of different tactics that are going to make me more successful. So if you're feeling stuck in your independent consulting business, or if you feel like there are things that are missing, or you don't know how to take your business to the next level. So ultimately, if you feel like there's an area you could improve or get better, and you want to take your independent consultancy to the next level, Melisa is definitely someone I would recommend talking to.